It's Della DuLac. I am still catching up on some of my past paper pumpkin kits, so today I'm going to share with you some cards that I did with the May 2025 kit called Mountains Majesty. This was a really pretty, very fun kit to do. I love the trees, the outdoorsy, very pretty kit. Let's get a few of these things out of the way. This is the stamp set. A little easier to see without this on top of there. So this is the stamp set, and you get Misty Moonlight ink spot in that kit. So let's get rid of the box, and then I'll show you some of these pieces here. So here are the cards that are intended in the kit. A couple of these I found a little plain. Loved the trees for this one here. These are the card bases that you get. So you got the rolling hills. Very cute. It's a nice base. I liked adding a few things to these. So anytime I get my cards that are like this, that has the print on both sides, I always cut them in half because I can get 2 cards out of each one of these instead of just one. This particular one I actually got 3 cards out of. So let me show you those. Let's keep these handy. Here are a few of the parts, and there's some vellum pieces that you can layer up with. Stick those over there. And then these pretty envelopes. I like the wash that they have on the outside. Very pretty. Those. Okay, so here's the first card. So the intended card here, and when you open up your diagram here, will show you that there's lots of parts and pieces that you're going to stack up on top. And this one right here. So this one, you were going to, let's see, this is the front. Oh no, this isn't the front. There we go. So there's the front and the back piece. So I cut them in half to make 2 cards. This card I used with all the pieces that you stack up on top of each other. To me, that is a lot of wasted space. So I didn't do that. So these pieces here, when you punch them out, you're supposed to layer these on top of the same image. That seems a little redundant to me. So when you do all of this, you're just stacking those on top of each other. Kind of silly, I thought. So I split them up. So here's the card base. Sorry, I'm a little unorganized. Here we go. So here's the card base. So this is the original card front that you would put these on and layer them up and stack them up with dimensionals and give that a little bit of depth, which is all fine and dandy, except this one here is exactly the same piece. So I took this piece out, and then I put this piece instead. Actually, I did it on the backside one. So I kept these together. So this one here is the front. There we go. A lot of parts and pieces, and I turned them into 3 cards. So here, let's get rid of these. We'll fold this up. Got too much stuff going on here. So let's see the actual card. So I have that one here. Open it up, and I paired it up with some other stamps. Any of your trees, just about any trees, or outdoorsy things would go with this. So I have the Scenic Adventure, so I really liked these trees, and I really loved the dies. The trees that come out of the die, I used quite a bit. And then I have the trees that I layered up, the stamps that I put on the inside for a few of my cards. Okay, so those are those 2. This one I did just a little bit of a fun fold for that one, and then added those trees. And then this one here, very similar to the one on the front, except I added a little boat from this stamp set right here. If you have a little boat, I think that worked really well right there. And on the inside, You can put a big "You're amazing" inside for this one. Now this one here, I did leave pretty much to the original, except I did cut, like I said, I cut them all, but I didn't do a whole lot of layering with it. I cut the piece in half so I could get 2 cards out of it, and then just like it had here, I had the greeting. So I had a greeting, I added a little bit of twine, and then a little strip on the inside of that card. And then I did that same Z fold with this one. But again, this seemed kind of plain to me, so I like adding just a little bit. So I ran the other side of this through an embossing folder. So we got a few of these embossing folders. These are the trees you'll see on another one. Love those. So any of your textured ones, just adding a little bit of texture was kind of fun to this one. This is an old tree punch. I used some tags left over from another paper pumpkin. Great way to use up little pieces of that. And again, with this one here, you were supposed to layer up some of these vellum pieces and these other ones over here on top of this card, but instead this one card I turned into 3 cards. So I've got the card bases. I chose, so here, I think this is the pecan pie, misty moonlight. So I just pulled out some of my cardstock. So when you look on the back of this, it will tell you some colors that are in this kit. The Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, and Petal Pink. So those are the colors that I chose for my card bases to go with these. Since I cut my card apart, I need another card base. And then this one here was this card in the middle. So again, I took all the parts that were intended for this one card, so all the little layers and the vellum pieces, I split them up to make 3 cards out of them. So with these, again, I've got either a stamp, I did some more stamps and birds on the inside of this one. I've got just a little strip and some trees on the inside of this one. So I really do, like I said, I really love the trees cut out from that die. And then this one here, I cut this piece in half. So I got another piece of this that I could make another card with. And I ran it through the tree embossing folder. Very cool. Just some texture on that card. Thought that was kind of fun. And then I had that on the strip that I put on the inside. And then again, these trees from the old tree punch. It's kind of fun. I have this. I use it a lot, and I will punch out pieces from mats that I know I'm just going to cover up with, okay, this one's not the right size. I have to cut that one. So when you have a piece of paper and you know you're going to have this mat, they're not going to see that centerpiece. So I will punch out a whole bunch of these trees out of the center of mats, and then I'll use them on cards just like this. So I have a little container of trees in different shades of green and some in black because they make great either shadow or to show a distance in the back. So that's where all of those came from. Very, very fun kit to play with, and pair it up with some other nature kind of stamp sets and dies to create more cards. So I have only used 3, one of each of these to make these cards. So I still have more to play with and make more cards. Hope you liked these cards. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and don't forget to click that bell button so you don't miss a video. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.